Welcome to the Illuminate Your Essence podcast, where we cut through the distractions, programs, and stories that have created chaos in your life and discover the truth, bliss, and joy that exists beyond the external clutter and resides within. Welcome back to the Illuminate Your Essence podcast. Wendy Bunnell here, flying solo today. I am talking about something very near and dear to my heart, something that has occurred very, very recently that has become an opportunity to be aware, to dive deep into the shadows of the things that maybe I didn't really want to see. And this is an opportunity for me to grow, for me to let go of some of the chains and the binds that have held me back from really, truly experiencing more joy, more bliss, more connection with myself, and more connection to others. And I'm going to talk today about sacred contracts. I truly believe in my heart that we come to this life understanding that there will be individuals that will come with us, that will give us the opportunity to learn and grow and understand, and that they agreed to certain things so that we could experience something about ourselves that we wanted to learn. Maybe it's forgiveness, maybe it's peace, maybe it's love, maybe usually it's something that is a stretch. Lots of stretchy moments here. And most of the time, these are individuals that are very close and near and dear in our life. Maybe it's a parent, maybe it's an aunt or uncle, maybe it's a sibling, or maybe a child or your spouse. But these are individuals that have a lot of experience with us in this life, and we have lots of evidence for why these individuals have hurt us, or why these individuals have done something to shape this part of us. We might even blame that part on this person or that person, or maybe it's even physical. Maybe it's I've got this heart issue and it's my grandfather's, so I have this heart issue, and it's just a part of me that is a part of my existence. And I don't even buy into that. I believe that we can allow ourselves to break free from the chains of previous generations. So here we are with these contracts, these opportunities for us to learn how to be more forgiving, more compassionate, more loving, not only with the other person, but really every relationship that we have is a beautiful mirror to show us those pieces and parts that perhaps maybe we don't love. Maybe we don't even want to look at them. Maybe we are shameful of them. And this individual comes into our life and repeatedly, oftentimes, will come in and trigger us. And we have this response where we are very emotional. We go there. We might just jump right into our victim story. And I know for me, I feel like most of the time I've gotten out of my victim story. There's very seldom that I jump back into that. But there are people in my life to this day that the moment that I'm around them, man, I am right back in my victim story. I'm right back into this insecure individual. And I disconnect from who I am, disconnect from what I know I am. And so I just wanted to share this very short message today to look inside of you and look at the person that triggers you the most. Look at that experience. And I want you to know, as I say this, you may get defensive right off the bat, saying, well, are you telling me that they're off the hook, that I can allow this person to be in my life and that they can be toxic soup? No. What I'm going to share with you, and I'm just going to tell you a story. I'm going to bring you on a story of my own personal experience. This happened very, very recently, so it's on my heart. And I want you to know that as I unfolded and unpacked this story, I discovered it was really an opportunity for me to dive deep into my own self-love, my own self-reflection, and my own self-journey. Here it is, Easter. I'm going to be around a whole bunch of family members. And I was excited, but I noticed that as I was driving to where I was going to meet up with a whole bunch of family members, I started feeling my back, my neck, my shoulders just tensing. I started to notice that I was feeling very insecure, very much not owning who I was. And there was one individual in particular that tends to create this reaction. And I shouldn't say she creates it, I create it. and it's just an opportunity for me to visit it. So here I am, and in true fashion, when I am around family members in this energy of insecurity, it's an opportunity for me to revisit old programs and stories and beliefs. And I noticed that this particular individual has been on this journey with me, and there has been this insecure feeling of, I don't know how to meet your needs. I don't know how to do things right. Since 27 years ago, I've never felt like I got it right with this person. And that there was always this, I need you, but I don't want you with me. I want you to hold me and cuddle me and love me, but get away. And so there's always been this, and you can hear it in my voice. It's like this frustration. And that is very on my gene keys. My number one red flag. When I am not in my true and highest self, I get frustrated. That is the cue for me to know I am not aligned with truth. And now it's time to have the opportunity to shift back into the truth. So here I am frustrated because I don't know how to get it right. And there is really no right or wrong, right? So here I am trying to get something right, trying to navigate and show it for this individual in the love that I want to give. But I'm also pushed away in the same breath. And to this day, it's still that. I want you in my life, but please don't hug me. I want you in my life, but everything you do is going to irritate me. And it's a reflection. So what part of me do I not understand how to meet my own needs? What part of me do I not feel secure in? What part of me pushes me away and invites me in? What part of me? So here I left that weekend, and I'm telling you, I was in toxic soup mode. I was in total manic, totally out of my body, totally in my head, dizzy, headache, feeling aches and pains all over my body, tension in my neck, tension in my shoulders. And I got back early enough on Easter that I decided to go around my very favorite lake down here where I live. Beautiful shores. It was a beautiful day, sitting in my camp chair all by myself. My husband's fishing around the corner, and I get the thought, hey, do a little breath work. So I navigated this app that I have, was directed to go to peace. That's what I was looking for, was peace. And in that place was a breath work meditation on forgiveness. And it was like a lightning bolt. So I open it up and I start navigating through this breathwork journey. And it was 4 different phases of breath. And the first one was inviting me to be in the shoes of the person that I had the opportunity to forgive. And really being empathetic with where they are in this life. Because we all know hurt people, right? And so here I am navigating that. Then the second round of breath was, where did this start? Where did this start? So I went back as far as I possibly could think. And there was some incredible insight in doing that, of where this started. And a lot of it was in the place that I was in my life. I was so unsafe and so insecure at a certain stage in my life. And of course, as you are helping others to grow in that environment, they're not feeling so safe. They're not feeling so secure. Then the third part was to remember what it feels like to have gratitude and love. And then the fourth part was to breathe and imagine that that other person was right in front of me, eye to eye, soul to soul, spirit to spirit, and breathing in the same pattern and thinking the Ho'oponopono statements. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And as I was breathing in and out and noticing this person in front of me, I recognized that this person has been one of my dearest friends throughout the millennia, throughout the universal timestamp. And I remembered this individual. And it reminded me of a book. It reminded me of a book called The Little Soul in the Sun. And there was a little part in that book that I want to share. It's basically, if you haven't read it, it's so beautiful. It's basically, let's see. The gentleman, Neil Donald Walsh, is the writer. He did Conversations with God. And I'm just going to read to you what I put on a Facebook post just a week ago. It's a children's book about forgiveness and the great desire to learn and return to love. One of the friends of the little soul wanted to help their dear friend learn forgiveness. He told the soul that he would allow himself to be at such a low vibration that he wouldn't remember himself anymore, so he could allow this other person to learn forgiveness. He pled with him to promise him one thing if he did this for his friend. Please don't forget who I am. And of course the little soul agreed. The friendly soul said, good, because you see, I will be pretending so hard, I will have forgotten myself. And if you do not remember me as I really am, I may not be able to remember for a very long time. And if I forget who I am, you may even forget who you are, and we will both be lost. And then we will need another soul to come along and remind us both of who we are. I believe there's sacred contracts. People that show up in this world in a certain way so that we have the opportunity to remember who we are, to remember who they are, to learn to forgive, to learn to set us both free. Now, you may say, Wendy, you're just inviting, what happens with someone who's like in a domestic violent relationship or someone who's with a narcissistic person? Like, are you just saying just forgive and allow this person to continue to abuse you emotionally, mentally, physically? The answer is absolutely not. But what happens when we forgive and we let go, we are no longer doing things out of resentment, regret, retaliation, all of the toxic negative emotions. We are not making decisions based on fear. We are making decisions based on love. Now, sometimes that means taking a break from the other person and saying, you know what, at this point, we trigger each other so much. Why don't we take a break from each other? And I will allow myself to get really strong. And maybe that will, that disconnection from each other will allow you to grow in the manner that you can grow and me in the manner that I can grow. And perhaps we will just realize that we've done what we need to do for each other in this lifetime. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. Thank you for doing this for me. But I also am no longer going to tolerate the abuse. I'm no longer going to tolerate the way that our relationship has happened up until this time. Now, that's very different than you did this to me. You talk to me this way. I don't like it when you do this to me. You are, and you're just reaffirming what they already feel. They already feel like they aren't enough. They already feel like they are worthless and that they aren't good enough. So we are reiterating their deepest fear, which is that they're not accepted. Now, when there's forgiveness there, and there's love and there's compassion, now we can speak heart to heart and say, let's look at this. Let's put it out in the light and let the light dismantle this really toxic story. Is this where we want to go with our relationship? Do we need to take a break? Do we need to set some really clear boundaries? Or maybe we could come up with some sort of solution that when you're feeling triggered and insecure and I'm feeling triggered and insecure, that we can just say, oh, I'm feeling that way again. Now what? And we already have tools in our toolbox that we can pull out in that moment, or we can take a time out, or whatever it is. Do you see how this is a much different outcome than just saying, you're a piece of crap and you're no longer in my life? Very different energy. I'm so grateful for the opportunity and the lesson that I got to experience on Easter Sunday. I believe that this is monumental in my journey. I hope that this discussion had some sort of clarity for your own relationships. Maybe even if you can just see that no one person can create you to feel anything. It is you that creates the story and you that creates the emotion. And you are able to either return it to sender. If someone's spewing stuff at you, you can just return it right back to them without any sort of response. Or you can do the opposite, which is what most of us do, is feel bad and feel like this person is attacking us. Nobody makes us feel anything. We do that to ourselves. And it is a beautiful mirror for us to look at. And then at that point, make the bold decision in choosing ourselves in every moment. When you choose you and you choose love, you will have clarity on how to take care of that. But the response won't be reactive. The response will come out of this place of love. Sometimes we have to get away from that situation to come back to love because it's just too triggering for us. And we get to practice. We get to practice and practice and practice and practice. And then those are those individuals that are in a place where they can't grow and learn and continue and progress. They're stuck for whatever reason. We can have compassion and empathy and love and allow ourselves to be free from that connection for right now. And we do that out of love, not out of fear, not out of resentment, not out of regret or guilt. I hope that this, again, has been valuable in your journey, that you can reflect on these things and decide what pieces feel right and maybe leave some that don't. With that being said, I can't wait for the discussion, the deep dive, and the dialogue on next week's Illuminate Your Essence. Satnam, my friends. Thank you for listening. I invite you to continue the dialogue, the discovery, and the deep dive on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Also on my website. Feel free to download your free copy of the 5 Steps to Discovering Your Inner Voice and begin your journey of discovering the truth within today.